Did we answer this one? I don't think we've answered this one. How should your macro positioning be here as a defending brawling combat and throw versus an attacking Woodmaker brawl con? Let's say defense is rank 3 more, man. Yeah, so when you're playing this, there's the King's Row first, there's only really 2 spots that a Woodmaker can position. So let me get King's Row overhead Overwatch. I don't really like Stat Banana, they're too nitty gritty. It's not like I want a little bit more of a juicy image. Yeah, this is kind of what I want here. Here. Okay. So there's really only 2 spots Widowmaker can position in King's Row, okay, successfully. Somewhere in this vicinity here, like this downward chunk, so like either here or like right here or whatever. Some can go here, but this is a little bit more risky. So here and here, okay? So what you want to do is you want to try and keep the Widowmaker in front of you, right? Or completely outside of LOS. In other words, you really don't want the enemy team to be pushing in this way and their Widowmaker to have this LOS, because then you're all looking at their team and the Widowmaker shoots you in the back, right? So what you want to do is you want to take engagements where you're either facing this direction or you're facing this direction. So what I would do is you can let them come through the choke, because it's, or you can stuff the choke. If you stuff the choke, it's fine, but you're playing to wall the choke and kill people on the choke, because if you push too far in, that's where they can like leave a widow and spawn and kill you, right? Because that's like an off angle, right? Or you can let them in and rotate, and you can kill them here, because if you kill them here, you can use this statue to cut off their widow's LOS here, because she's going to have a hard time seeing through here. So your kill boxes would either be here really early or here. Now what you can also do is you can let them through rotate this way, and you can flip the map on them. So they rotate here, and you rotate through this way and attack them from here. And what you do is you do that is you could send your Lucio to go duel their widow. But basically, you just want to keep the Widowmaker in front of you, is in the nutshell. Because the Widowmaker in front of you is a lot easier to see, a lot easier to deal with. Okay. I know there's a lot of hammer time, but hammer time takes a long time. Hammer time is something that is like I have to commit to, and yeah. When am I getting your UA tryout? Next weekend. Yes, I'm almost done. With regards to my recent coaching video and Reddit post, do you have any advice specifically for gear for blind VOD reviews done for the public? So in other words, if you're coaching other people, it just takes like time to get familiar with all the heroes. And then in terms of sweet spot, I would say no longer than like 45 minutes. No longer. Generally shorter is better, but you don't want to be like speed reviewing it either, because I've done those before and those aren't fun. Okay. What do you think about educational unranked GM? I think it's garbage. I think opposite makes sense. More eventually than corrects a player makes sure than try to make sure the educator's doing things. Yeah, exactly. Because it's like you can watch a GM player, and if you're gold, watching a GM player isn't really that valuable. Like, because he's so much better than you that it's like it's too much of a jump. It's like it'd be like a person getting into gymnastics, studying like some top tier gymnast, like Olympic gymnast, and trying to replicate that. Like you can't. Like it's way too over your head. So like half the stuff that the gymnast is doing, you're not going to understand. Not going to understand why, or maybe you might actually try and do injure yourself or do something stupid. So like a GM unranked GM, like not only are they going to do more stupid stuff in lower ranks because they're just mechanically better, but like a lot of times they don't always like, especially if they don't like narrate the gameplay, then you don't even know why they're doing the things that they're doing. And also, a GM player might be working on stuff that another player, like maybe some players are really struggling with old economy, but the GM player doesn't even talk about that. Like, player improvement is individualistic. Like, that's why I do VOD reviews and don't write player guides. You know what I'm saying? Because every player needs to work on different aspects of gameplay. Not to mention, a lot of these unranked GMs are like, hey, I'm going to place this account in bronze or silver and climb up. Now, if you're doing unranked GM and you're leveling a new account and you place diamond, whatever, nobody gives a rip. But if you're out there like buying an account, or they like, oh, I'm in silver and I'm not climbing, that's just lame. Like, if it's Blizzard placing you in diamond for whatever reason, can't blame that. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this. Yeah, exactly. They go for super hard plays, right? Because they have the mechanics that can just dominate in gold. When playing Tracer on Sombra, does a Flex CBS play Sombra Tracer? It doesn't matter. Really, the limiting factor is just the player skill. Sombra, can they play Sombra? Can they play Tracer? A lot of Flex DPS players right now can play Tracer. If they can't play Tracer, they play Sombra. Also, if you have like a really good Sombra player, then you want to put that player on Sombra. So like both of these heroes are very much like, some people are really good, some people are really bad. So it's like just up to an individual team. So for Boston, when we had I'm 37 and Tap, we had a lot of confidence in Tap's Tracer. So even though Jen can play Tracer, I'm 37 can play Tracer, he was a better Sombra than Tap, and Tap was actually, even though he's Flex DPS, was a really good Tracer, so we did that. But it just depends, it's on a case-by-case basis. You ever on a positioning and among songs, a lot of good when you post my team voting which time for the little outcome. Yeah, we can do that really quick. I don't need to do this. I'll pull open Overwatch really quick. Busan is a tricky map with positioning, so don't take my word as gospel. But I can help you a little bit with it. King of the Hill with flex support? It's so hard. So hard. It literally, like, it's something that you need to go into your own and actually study. Because, like, when I play the game, more than I do now, I would go through every, like, Koth map that I was struggling with and study the Koth map. And that's really something that you should be doing. And you shouldn't be doing it in the match. You should be doing it on your own time. On your own time, sorting out in yourself. You shouldn't like, oh, I'm in a match, I'm gonna try and test some stuff. And you should go ahead of time and try it out. Crud. Never remember where any of them are. Ooh. Nice. Let's pick Tracer, because she'll be fast. Keep in mind that I'm gonna only go over one side, just mirror. It really doesn't matter. So like, this is a decent spot to be. Obviously depends on Widow LS. There's never a perfect spot. You're always at risk of Widow. So it's going to be up to you to abuse corners. And then, oh shoot, Widow's peeking. So I'm going to adjust my positioning here, you know? Like I'm going to adjust here. So it's going to depend on where the Widow is. Rolling, I really, this is good if they don't have snipers. But if they're on snipers, this is really, really bad. So you've got here, which is okay. If they're on snipers, this is okay as well. Or you can play here. Just obviously you gotta have to watch out for your flank. You can play on point. Like this is a worst case scenario. It's not really great, but it's, I mean, it's better than nothing. This is okay as well. I'm not a fan of this one because I don't like the lack of vision I have here. This is a pretty good one right here. So really you've got here, here. On point is bad. Here, here. And then window up there. And then obviously if they don't have snipers, you can play around this right here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Not really. Like you can play, like if your team's taking a close fight here, you can kind of play here. But yeah, that's basically it. You're looking for corners, you're looking for ways to cut off their LOS with corners, yet still have a decent sightline. Like you don't want to play like here because you have like no sightline in the middle of the point. But if you play here, you can cut off a lot of Widow LS, so the only way that she can shoot you is from here or from behind. And you still have a decent sightline on your team. And if anybody comes onto the point, you can nade them, and you know, you can sleep them, all that stuff. Back left is on her? Yeah. I mean, everybody usually rolls out here, but if they have snipers, you really don't want to play there. Widow or Ashe or whatever. And if they have like Tracer and stuff too, it can be kind of sketchy to play here too. Okay. We continue. Is my scene working? It is. Sweet. How do I balance shield breaking and offangles and flanks with Hanzo? Right now I've been using Strongbow and shield. You can clear flank the center, go for the aggressive. That's fine. This is fine. Generally though, like Hanzo, like shield break, raw shield break with Hanzo isn't, like, let's put it this way. My opinion of Hanzo has shifted away from just raw shield break into where like you should almost always be looking for offangles. Like break the shield from an offangle. Not a hard flank, but like just like a slightly different offangle if you can. You could start with your team and then as the fight evolves, offangle, but if you can safely hold an offangle without being rushed easily, hold the offangle. Shoot the shield from an offangle, like I said. Can I go over general hero pick decision making in the current meta when you run Brig vs. Lucio or Sand blech. Current meta right now, Brig is still popular, Brig is still strong, even without the overpack, because if you don't run Brig, if you run, like, Dive is strong enough, let's put it this way, Dive is strong, okay? Because Dive is strong, you cannot run spam with Zen. Because if you run spam with Zen, you're either going to get brawled on, but more important, they're just going to play Tracer and you're going to die. Or Genji or Dive and you're going to die. So teams still like playing spam, because spam is still a good comp, but you must play spam with Brig, because if you play spam without a Brig, you're going to get dove and you're going to die. Now the dilemma of why Dive isn't dominating right now is because, number one, a lot of teams just aren't very good at Dive. Number two, because CC is still, like, Brig still has her CC against Dive, she's still decent against Dive. And number three is that Dive has a little bit of an identity crisis with support lineup right now, because Lucio with Dive just isn't very good. If Lucio Dive is playing into Brig spam, if at least in the current iteration of Brig spam is playing well, Lucio Dive has a really hard time winning, because Lucio just doesn't do squat against spam. Doesn't do anything. He's like another DPS, basically, but a bad DPS. So teams will run Brig Dive versus Brig spam, but the problem is the Brig in the spam gets value out of her CC, out of her boops, out of her spam, out of her anti-CC. The Brig Dive doesn't get value out of any of that, right? At least until the fight devolves. So the Brig in spam is doing more, because she's getting value out of armor pack, she's getting value out of her whip shot, she's getting value out of her shield bash, anything. Whereas the Brig in Dive is just basically armor pack bot until the fight devolves and then she starts to go in. So the Brig is always outvaluing the Brig Dive, which a lot of time means that Brig spam is better than Brig Dive, just because the Brig in the spam is better. Now, Dive is not bad right now, and teams are not great at Dive, so I think slowly we might see Dive do better than spam. Dive right now is stronger than it's ever been, let's put it that way. At least on paper, without bans. But Brig is still good enough or necessary enough Brig is good enough in spam for her not to be a complete troll pick. Let's put it that way. But let's put it this way. The reason teams are running Brig and spam is because they're scared of Dive. The overheal, the overpack is gone now, so people are literally just running Brig and spam because they're scared of Dive. On most maps. Like, she's still not terrible in spam, but she's not near as good as she used to be. What's the current meta composition? I mean, pretty much Ashe, Genji, Tracer, Genji, blah, 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 blah. I've seen some McCree, but I think McCree's kind of bad. I just think McCree was a very specific niche pick. Orisa, Sig, Bat Brig, basically. Although we are seeing some, like, Winston Dive on some maps. Genji, Tracer's really strong, and Genji's really strong, and Winston is really strong, and Brig is kind of strong. Winston's really strong, but he's just not a part of the meta right now. As soon as, like, Dive becomes even close to being back, Winston's gonna dominate. I'm just glad it's not a Brawl comp, dude. Brawl is such a sleeper composition, dude. I hate Brawl. I like Dive, I like spam. I hate Brawl so much. I know Orisa isn't fun to watch, but like Sigma's kind of fun. Ashe is fun to watch. Genji's fun to watch. Bap is pretty fun to watch. Brig is not bad watching. Zen is fun to watch. But oh, Ryan May stuff, dude. What a sleeper. Reaper May. Terrible comp. Hate that comp, dude. So boring. I didn't like goats. I don't like this. What do you constantly win? How do you consistently win an LS1 in regards to booping? It seems like booping is hard to play and execute. You don't incorporate into a team's gameplay. It is booping is always or at least booping for kills is always a spur of the moment. I see an opportunity, I go for it. The Orisa shield's broken. She doesn't have fortify. I'm gonna haul. The fight's devolved. I'm gonna go for a boop play. You don't plan to boop. You can be expecting to look for it in devolve fights, so like remind yourself to look for it in devolve fights. But at the beginning of a fight, nobody goes like, we're gonna boop play. Is Brig Zen still playable? It's okay. Like, Brig Zen is still okay in Dive, but remember, Brig Zen Dive relied a lot on you being able to pack your Sombra and Tracer to be like monsters. And right now, you can't pack your Tracer to be a monster, so she's not as strong. Dive isn't bad, but Brig Dive isn't as good. Because overpack was really important for Brig Dive. And now Brig Dive is nerfed, so Brig Dive is not as good. Winston's still strong. Genji's still strong, Tracer's still strong, but Brig Dive isn't strong, so Dive as a whole isn't quite as good. I like spam comps. I think spam comps are pretty interesting. I think the current meta is pretty fun. I just don't want to see this meta for another 4 months. Hopefully we'll get to Dive. If Brawl never came back as a meta, I would probably be fine with it. Like, it's okay to see Ryan every now and then on a map or two, but I do not find rush comps to be intriguing or interesting at all. Like, they have a lot of nitty-gritty details about them, just like Goats did, but there's visually you don't see it. You just don't see it. There's nothing like you can have the world's biggest brain rotation, but it doesn't. It's not fun to watch. It's just Ryan is fun to watch, but everything that's part of the comp is not fun to watch. Lusu, I don't find to be particularly fun to watch. The only fun hero in Brawl is, in my opinion, is Ana. At least to play, but even then it's not fun to watch. I have sort of a long question. It's frustrating when I open a map pick on Widow and my team actually get stream open to the clutch to make hard shots. Which point am I helping my teammates? Okay, here's the thing. If you just don't have space, then yeah, you should probably swap. And this sentence right here, your aim will never be good enough, just tells me that you're not grinding hard enough. If you had if you like hardcore Kovacs and did your FFA and did your comp ranked, your aim will be good enough. The problem is, his aim is just really hard to get better at. It takes a lot of time. It's a lot of time. You have to take it really seriously. But if you literally are like roll out Widow and you're like, I have no space, I can't kill anybody, then yeah, you can go Ash or Kree. Doesn't double shield doesn't feel the watch though? It's not. I don't understand. Like all the time, no. But double shield spam, yes. I like double shield spam. I think it'd be fun if Hog was part of like Orisa. Like we saw more Orisa Hog, but I don't get what the big thing about double. Like if you're talking about double shield Reaper Doom with the shields never break, sure. But like double shield right now, shields break. Shields break really fast, and they're paired with really fun DPSers. Like we got Genji and Ashe, guys, and Tracer. You kidding me? That's like the funnest 3 DPS heroes in the game. Is there a ringer etiquette? Like here's the thing. Ask the team. Here's your ringer etiquette. Care enough to ask the team that you're ringing for. Every question that you have within here is irrelevant. Ask the team. If they say they don't care, roll it. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you're comfortable with, do it. But ask the team. Ask the coach. On Hanamura first defense, I've heard multiple people say to hold as Ryan on right door, and others saying to hold left door in the corner of the building. I mean, it depends. So if you're holding right door, so I'm not getting good overhead here. Yeah, here you go. Okay. Right. So if you're holding, can you guys see that? Yeah. If you're holding here, it's because you're all inning. Like as soon as they go through the choke, you're gonna beat them on the. You're gonna beat them with smash. So like maybe you have a Mei, like a Moira, like a Lucio, like a Reaper, Kree, Junkrat. You can hold here, right? Because like you don't want to play in the open space. And you can just abuse them here. But if you're playing like Ryan Zarya, like Widowmaker Ashe, maybe you're playing like a Zen, something like that. It's not as crucial that you hold this choke. It's just crucial that you hold a choke. So like you can soft pressure here, but where are you gonna go if you lose this? Here, this is awful. Across to here feels awful. Across to here feels even worse. So teams will hold here if they're playing a comp that isn't like literally gonna hard commit and kill in the choke. Ryan comps have different levels of speed. If you're playing Ryan, like I said, Ashe, Ana, Brig, you don't need to hold here. You can hold here. You can let them have some space so that your Ana can land nades, your Ashe can land dynamites, and you don't instantly die because you can kite from here to here or here to here. Here, you got nowhere to go. So you only play the very front corner if you're playing a comp that's literally like do or die. Doomfist, Reaper, Moira, Lucio, like we're all in at this choke. They're not getting to this choke. And that's because, like I said, you can't kite if you're holding the front right. I mean, you can, but it's really, you don't want to rely on it. If you have a wide hero pool and want to keep at least sharp on all your heroes you're proficient on, how much do you need to play hero in a week to keep you sharp and maintain them? It depends on the person. Depends on the person. Like obviously this is a really tough dilemma. My main support and hit scan are like completely different roles. It's why like at the pro level players just don't flex. Like I think the closest thing I'd see to a flex player is like PvP Twitch, right? The guy plays like Ryan, plays DPS, but he was like what? Low GM, you know what I'm saying? High masters and all those years, and the guy played the game like all day long. So like you're just not going to be really good at the game if you play a lot of different heroes. So I mean it's gonna depend on the person. But setting a structure for it and then find out that works for you. So like this structure right here, I mean, it might be okay. Try it out, see how it goes. But don't just play randomly. Like if you really want to do it, you do need to set a structure like this and then trial and error. If it feels really good, great. If it feels really bad, then you need to change it up. But I don't have a set answer. It's gonna depend person to person. Can I review a game where Ben best playing Reinhardt? I don't know. I know a lot of people who hold this opinion, by the way. I don't know anything about Ben Best's Reinhardt, but I know a lot of people that think that Ben Best is the weakest point of the team. It could be that he brings something leadership-wise or communication-wise that the other players don't, and maybe he's just weaker mechanically. Like, I can't understate how important it is to have good leadership and good communication. It doesn't matter if you could, if you threw in a like there's a couple like players in Overwatch League that aren't even that amazing mechanically, but they bring so much value. So maybe Ben Best is one of those players, but I'm not going to review Ben Best because I don't have time. I recommend Kovacs over Aim Hero. Yeah, because I think Kovacs does a much better job of replicating the Overwatch feel. Like, the reason why I was not a fan of aim trainers for a long time is because it didn't feel like Overwatch. It felt like another game, like where you're practicing moving your mouse. Even if you replicate the sensitivity, you want it to feel like Overwatch, like the 3D everything, right? So you play in Kovacs, it feels like you're actually in Overwatch, even if the scenario the scenery looks different, and so you can actually it's way more replicable. And I think Kovacs also has a lot more like flexibility to what you can do. Yeah, so I don't know much about Ben Best. I don't watch a lot of Overwatch League on a micro level. I other stuff. Outside of cycling and bubble usage to build charge of the fight, building thing to what rules does Zarya have? I mean, enable aggression, build charge. That's it. Enable aggression, build charge. I mean, there's not really a whole lot. Like, burning down low HP targets when high charge, like, it's not even that. Just burn down people. Shields, tanks, whatever's available, whatever's necessary. It's not, yeah, just to take space, hold space. Yeah, just enable aggression. Recently picked up Summer. What's the best playstyle? There's really only two playstyles. One is the backline playstyle. Well, there's a couple playstyles, but it's really up to you. The big thing I would focus on is making sure that you're on backline, because playing with your team as Sombra is like way more requires a lot more coordination with your team than playing backline. You want to go backline. You want to wait for your team to push. Well, as soon as your team starts to do anything, even if it's just spam, you can look for a hack, or you look to shoot backline, and then your team will get value out of that. Eventually, you get a hack, they shoot the hack target, whatever. A lot of Sombras complain that my team doesn't follow up a hack, because most Sombras that I play with up until like Diamond, they just don't pay any attention to what their team is doing at all. The team could be pushing from spawn, the team could be like halfway dead, and they're translocating out as their team is going in, and then they whine about it, or the EMP when the fight's already lost, or before the team could even get there. So Sombras are probably the most infuriating main for me, because a lot of them are dumb as rocks. Hey, thanks, Ekbod.
Tough luck.
Yeah, no comment on contenders. Like, miserable week. But pay attention to what your team's doing, and then you can build a play style around that. Like, I don't care if you're playing with your backline, you're playing on the sideline, you're going for squishies, or you're going for big hacks on tanks. It does not matter, as long as you're doing it when your team is actually in a position to follow up on it. How do you attack Ike Vault second phase if you don't have a long-range hit-scan player? The team is controlling the castle. Okay, we will answer that question. Eichenwald second Overwatch. This is good enough. So let me look at the question again. So if they're controlling the castle and they have and you don't have a long range hit scan, you can play underneath them. You can go in and take castle away from them, because you're saying, oh, well, we don't have a long range hit scan. Well, that implies that they have a long range hit scan, because if not, then why would you not just go to cart, right? If they don't have a long range hit scan or anything, then don't worry about castle. But if they do, or they have something that's abusing high ground, then you can go into castle and kill them. You can go into castle. You can go this way. You can actually go all the way around up the stairs, although that's a little bit sketchier, and take the high ground from there. And you can also prioritize getting underneath them safely and going straight to cart. Like, you hug this like little wooden platform and hug underneath the bridge and push cart, and somebody drops, you kill who drops. Eichenwald second is incredibly difficult to retake. It is a very difficult map, so I'm explaining it like it's simple. It's not simple. So if you're having a hard time, don't feel bad. It's a difficult thing. Hey, Lep. Make out release in Heroes of Storm and think of the workers lucky as projectiles. He's still on ice wall base. Ice block and do things real makes sense. I don't know. People ask me all the time. It's a good question. People ask me all the time about like balance stuff. I don't think enough about balance stuff to really know, and balance is such a tricky thing to balance. So yeah, I won't comment on that. I would have to think about that a long time. Why does team play get worse in low masters compared to high diamond? That's your experience. That makes zero sense. Maybe in your experience it is, but that's not a case. That's not like a rule at all. So, can you explain how to play the Orisa Reinson Maycom in detail if there is any? Yeah, you go to point, you hold the space. If the enemy team comes close to you or goes into your space, you wall them off and then you kill him. When you're walling them off, you have 2 shields to protect your Symmetra. You need 2 shields for your Symmetra because she needs constant protection. She needs to be babied. And if like she needs to get close to the enemy team. Matrix Bubble aren't going to let her stay close for a long time. An extra Orisa shield or a Ryan shield will. So you'll always see Symmetra with double shield because she needs the extra long protection, not just burst of protection. They get close, you wall them off, you burn the shield, and then you kill them. During the wall, your Symmetra is ramping up beam, so even when wall breaks, you now have a million HP, Symmetra, damage, DPS, yeah. It's literally just you hold space. It's a very simple comp to play. Doesn't mean it's always done right, and there are complexities around it, but the actual concept is pretty easy. Hey, glitch, please. Is there any time I should be shooting at something wall? I mean, it depends on your comp. If you got a Bastion, sure. If you got like a a Bastion or your team is calling to break it, sure. But very rarely should you ever be doing that. How do you go about preparing team comps, letting prior knowledge what type of comp you'll be playing against? Yeah, that's it. You just play to your strengths. You play to your strengths, and then you learn about how to play your comp against different compositions. So, like, if you guys are a really good spam team, like a Ristic team, and you're like, all right, guys, we need to know how to play into dive. Fundamentally, we know how to play into brawl. Fundamentally, we know how to play into the spam mirror. Not, oh, we need to know how to play into Reinhardt Kree May and Reaper May, and then Reaper Doom, and then also Doom Kree, and then Doom May. No, you just need to play, how do I play into brawl? Okay, play slow, spam shield. How do I play into dive? All right, take angles, but like conservative angles, peel, and kill monkeys. And then against spam, we take angles and we spam shields. Like just keep it really simple, but don't ever pick a comp that's like, oh, enemy team, we know what they're gonna play, so we're gonna play that. Like that stuff just doesn't happen to Overwatch League, and even then it doesn't happen that much. Which program do you use to draw while doing the VOD? Epic Pen. Epic Pen. It's okay. My one complaint is that I bought a license for it, and every single time I open it, it says upgrade, like not upgrade, but like update. Like there's a new update, and then I click update, and it tries to make me buy another license. I'm like, but I already bought it. It's an update, so that's my only. It's annoying, but it's fine. Another thing I don't like about it is like it has like this weird has like the extra scene you see there, and it sometimes bugs out. How important are location call names for comms? Very basic locations are important, but nothing more advanced than that. But it is very immensely helpful to have very basic location calls. When you get to OWL, will you switch to doing continuous analysis or live analysis? Basically disappear? I don't know. It's a good question. If I get to OWL. That's my goal, but we'll see. When should I consider a wardrobe update? Now. Okay. Why is your brother so much better looking than you? I'm going to ignore that question. Lies, Typho got that nerd rip. True. Why has Brawl been way weaker as of late? May got nerfed. Reaper got nerfed. I think Reaper got nerfed, right? I mean, May nerf is really the big one. May nerf hit hard. And then heroes like Ashe have been buffed. Ashe, Genji, I mean, Echo got introduced to the game. So you got like Echo, Ashe, and Genji. And all 3 of these heroes are more punishing into Brawl than they used to be. I mean, Echo didn't exist before. And then May is really the quintessential Brawl hero, along with Reinhardt and Lucio. So you see Ryan and Lucio. These are the 3. And if you're missing one of the 3, you're going to struggle against other comps. So, like, May is bad now. So you're seeing, like, Kree and Tor Brawl, but those aren't as strong at just closing the distance and killing targets. So, like I said, I hate Brawl. I'm glad to see it go. It'll come back, I guarantee you. But it's in the meantime, I'm enjoying the meta. Are you going to stream more regularly for the next few weeks? It'll be more regularly for the next few weeks, yeah. Act VOD, send me those VODs if you don't mind. I'm actually curious. If someone's wanting to become a coach, how should they try to ladder? How should they try to ladder and focus on what they're improving at? I mean, you don't learn anything from playing ranked as a coach, unless you're a micro coach. It can help a little bit. So I've worked with like good micro coaches, but if you're looking to be like even like a strat coach or a head coach, like even somebody doing one-on-one reviews, so little value is found from grinding ranked. Like it's helpful-ish, but it's not crucial. Way better to focus on other like studying VODs, VOD reviews, and just sheer practice and communication too. When am I dropping my next Fire Dance video? I don't know. I need another. That one was just a great video. Like it's not something I normally do, but that VOD video was amazing. If you haven't seen the original, check it out. Me and my brother are like, dude, this is sick. So maybe if we find another video that's as cool as that, we'll copy the dance. Did you guys know I was in a ballet once? I was in ballet once when I was 17 years old, 18 years old. I was in a ballet. Don't tell anybody. Thank you, Akfod. Having trouble figuring out when to off-angle and sing in the double shield mirror. When I watch Fuse of Sharp, I on control for okay. It's because of the Brig pick. So it's because of the Brig and the Tracer pick, and even the Genji pick to a lesser extent. Because the DPS right now is more mobile. So if they see a hard off-angle, they will go punish that off-angle. So if your SIG is hard off-angling and the enemy team has like Echo and like a Tracer, they can melt your SIG if he messes up. So it's a little bit more risky, but it's also more easier to stack shields now because it helps your Brig to get value. So you don't not see off-angles, but generally the off-angle is more of the hit scan because the hit scan can off-angle safer and from a better range, whereas your shields stack together a little bit more to give your Brig more value. So this meta is weird. This is a weird meta right now. It's like a brawl spam. Yeah. And it's also a weird meta because it's literally like right now you've got like Brawly with the Brig and then Spammy with the Orisa Sig, but then your DPS are usually like dive DPS, or at least partial dive DPS with Genji, Tracer, Echo. So this is a super weird hybrid comp. This is probably the strangest, outside of GOATs, probably the strangest meta that has ever been in Overwatch in terms of just nothing we've ever seen before. Can you go over the importance of bridge control in Hanamura B? Sure. Can you go over the importance of bridge control of Hanamura B? Hanamura B. There you go. This is pretty good. Right, so, again, making sure I understand the question. Yeah, so this point is really strong because if you control this here, you have like cover that you can use on the sides, but the most important thing is if teams go main, they die because they get shot in the back or naded in the back or it's backline and gets killed. Like, chat, I cannot emphasize enough, especially with the 2 CP changes, that means that it's really hard to snowball really fast before they get spawns. Please, chat, do not go main on Hanamura. Do not go main on Hanamura. Do not ever go main on Hanamura. I cannot think of a single time in scrims or in ranked or in quick play where going main on Hanamura worked out. And if it did, it was sheer luck. Listen, do not go main on Hanamura. I know going upstairs always feels bad. Hanamura is a hard map, but if you go high ground, you can clear out this high ground, and you can clear out this high ground, and then you can drop to point and control high ground without getting shot in the back. Please don't go main on Hanamura. So controlling this is really important because if teams do go main on Hanamura, and they do, you will kill them. If they go to the left, yes, they can clear you off the high ground, but you don't actually have to leave it. You just have to back up to here, hide, and then retake it again once they go to point. So this is really important because you can shoot people on point in the back or people going through the choke on the back. You have to be careful, though, not to get picked here if they're pushing up. Okay? Late picks on first point. Yeah, that's the thing, Jet. You have to be careful with that because with the 2 CP changes, late picks on first, unless you've already capped, well, even then, they spawn so fast. Like, 2 CP spawns are so fast. They stop the snowballing thing. So, yeah. I know this will sound like a stupid question, but what's the point of a main tank at a pro level to protect during rotates? Just to create space. Just to create space. Like whether it's an Orisa shielding forward and letting her team spam and then halting, whether it's a Reinhardt pressing W so his DPS can take angles, whether it's a Winston diving in so his DPS and supports can rotate, whether it's a ball slamming in so that everybody's looking at the ball. Main tanks are just like damage sponges. They're meant to make everybody look at them because they're dangerous and big, and then their teams do stuff. Like Orisa demands attention because her shield, her damage, her halts. You know, the ball demands attention because he's slamming your backline. The Winston demands attention because he's jumped. The Reinhardt demands attention because he's got a big hammer and a big shield. Like, main tanks are just there to create space because they generate threat. It's like a main tank in an MMO. The big boss looks at the main tank and everybody else kills stuff, right? But unlike in MMOs where main tanks basically do no damage because there's things like force taunts and threat and stuff like that, main tanks in Overwatch have to do damage and have to be threatening because, you know, we're not AI, right? If there's a Reinhardt did 5 damage per swing, I don't care if he has a force taunt. He's not making me shoot him, right? But he does 75 damage per swing, so I have to shoot him. Otherwise, he will kill my team, right? And when I start shooting him, that allows his team to do stuff. And the best main tanks are the ones that generate the most threat and still survive. That's the big thing with main tanks. Main tank is like, you, Anna, you want to go to that flank here? I'm going to create attention so that you can go to that flank here. Or Widow, you want to hold in this big space, open space, so I'm going to hold this corner here so that they cannot take the space away from you, right? Winston's like, hey, Anna, you want to be able to land a nade? Genji, you want to kill their backline? Well, I'm going to go in with you, Genji, so that you can kill the backline. Because if you go in by yourself, you're going to die. I'm going to bubble you, I'm going to help you, I'm going to draw attention to myself, and then I'm going to get out. Yeah. This was answered? Did you get this answer? Because it's really, really easy. I think if you were here for the Zarya one-on-one, you understand why Winston Zarya is being run, right? Chat, you understand why Winston Zarya is being run, not Winston Diva? I didn't used to play. No, I. Yeah, this. How do you not know what I used to play? Have you guys not seen my most I'm like doxing myself here, but I don't care. Look. There you go. You guys not seen this? Best basic Reinhardt guide. Spog. War guide. God of War, Lord of Memes, Lore Master PvP. I mean, come on, guys. How have I not been mocked more? You guys, come on, brother. Anyway, yeah, that's my experience. I used to play. I was more of a debuffer class. I played high damage, high skill, like a Warg, which was like really fast damage combos, a lot of dexterity required to play it, and then I played like a debuffing class. Lacho stream win? I have a Lacho channel. I don't stream on it very much. It's the Great Black Warg with 2 G's. Because the original one got stolen. That was my original thing, like the Great Black Warg. There was a really famous Warg player in the Great White Warg, because there was a white skin that you could get. And he retired, and I took up his mantle with the Great Black Warg. And he used to get accused of cheating and all that stuff, and I got accused of cheating and stuff because I was really good. And like they basically carefree accusations, but that time's like 100. I got reported all the time, and I changed name from the Great Black Warg to Zachary. Anyway, but I won't go into details. But yeah, the Great Black Warg with 2 G's is where I sometimes stream lower things, not usually though. MMO is sleeper. That's okay. I had a lot of fun playing Elder Scrolls Online. This was really fun. I just left it for Overwatch. Cancel Spilo? No, it's a skin. It's a black skin. Nothing to do about race. Do you think Genji buffs are excessive? Yeah, but I don't. I think Genji buffs are excessive with the deflect change. I think this is kind of stupid. Like, why is it that deflect can be canceled? That seems like absurd to me. But, and this is a big but, I don't really care that Genji is really strong right now. It's like I didn't really care when Ashe is really strong right now. And if Winston's going to be overpowered in the next meta, I don't care either. They're fun heroes to watch. They've been trashed for forever, so fine. It's impossible to perfectly balance a game. It's way better to have balanced cycles where one hero is not oppressively strong, but strong, and then another hero is strong, and then another hero is strong. Genji right now, I think, is a little too strong with the deflect thing because it's really hard to duel him because he can cancel his deflect at any time. That I do not like. Do not like that. Do not like that. I don't even like the deflect duration increase. I don't like that either. But the damage increase, the spread, it's fine. It's annoying, but it's fine. I mean, I don't even as a coach though, Fabe, because I don't even play Genji anymore. It's just more fun. He's a fun hero to watch. He's a fun hero to like playing around. Yeah, Genji will still be played. Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, Contenders has been playing on post-Brig nerf, and he's still played. So, Brig is still played, post-Brig nerf. I don't even care about the ult charge rate. Like, definitely the ult charge rate will be nerfed, I guarantee you. But it's the flip and deflect, man. I go into deathmatch, and it's like impossible to outbrain a Genji. You can't time it. There's no time. Did you guys make it? No. It hurt my feelings. It was a bad week, man. It was a bad week. Yeah, Genji meta is fine. I think Ashe is I mean, Dynamite's a little annoying, but she's a pretty fun hero to watch. Ashe, Genji, Tracer, I don't care. Like, this meta right now is pretty fun. It's okay. It's fine. I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm not actually mad. I mean, I am mad, but I'm not actually mad at you. Alright. I've been purposely avoiding social media because it's like, it's not pretty right now. Class, yeah, whatever. Okay, all right, I'm done, chat. I'm gonna roll.